So Mr. Sanjay Tripathi from Mumbai is here. So I'll request Mr. Sanjay Tripathi to, sir, please come on the dais. Uh, so this session is on, this is session 4 of this morning, and the topic is cross-border payment. Sir, please have a seat. Thank you very much. So let me introduce first Mr. Sanjay Tripathi. Mr. Sanjay Tripathi is the co-founder and CEO of Briskip, a financial technology company dedicated to simplifying cross-border payments for micro, small and medium enterprises, MSME. With over 30 years of leadership experience in or various organizations such as SDFC Life, Metal, Pepsi, Reliance and Amul, he brings a wealth of expertise to the fintech sector. Under his leadership, Briskip has developed a unified platform that integrates account-to-account transfer and card collection, aiming to empower MSME by breaking down financial and operational barriers in international transaction. The platform offers a flat 1% fee on transaction with fund credited with 1 day, supporting local collections in 6 major currencies. In 2024, Briskip secured $5 million in seed funding from PayU, a leading fintech investor, to further its mission of reshaping global payments for small businesses. Apart from this, informally I was talking to sir, so I asked him, sir, how you found Kolkata? So immediately the statement he gave, कि नीरज जी यहाँ की हर गलियों से मेरा पुराना जान पहचान है, because the tenure which I spent in Pepsi, so I used to know each retailer, even Eden Garden में जो chips भी आप लोगों को लेज का मिलता था, so that also I used to visit that supplier और उसके through वो सारा काम करते थे. तो it means sir, you know our audience very well. कि हम भले ही देखने में नंबर्स में कम हो सर, बट जितने भी लोग हैं यहाँ पर, दे ऑल आर वेरी एक्टिव एंड डेफिनेटली दे आर हियर टू लर्न समथिंग न्यू. एंड ऑब्वियसली अपार्ट फ्रॉम दिस GST, TDS, टैक्स, इनकम टैक्स, ऑडिट, इन सारे सब्जेक्ट से हट के दिस मॉर्निंग our honorable president, program chairman Vivek Nevotia ji has designed this entire full day session, and I think since morning all the 3 session has given a new roadmap to all of us. So with this, we will start this session as well. And so now I will request CA Ritesh Agarwal, sir, please come on the dais and present Uttariya to Mr. Sanjay Tripathi. A big round of applause for Mr. Sanjay Tripathi for accepting our invitation and to be here. Now I'll request Mr. Manish Gadia, our ACA member, to present memento to Mr. Sanjay Tripathi. Cup, give him. So this is a memento designed specially by our honorable president for all our guests. This is ACA symbolic mug. So with this, I am also not very expert on this subject, so I will not take much of your time. And I think after having delicious food of Park Hotel, we all are now packed. Now our mind need active statements, dialogue from Mr. Sanjay Tripathi, so that कि हम लोग सोए भी नहीं और आगे आने वाले sessions को और actively enjoy करें. So sir, stage is yours, please.
Hi, sorry, like my throat is not so great. So I landed in Kolkata, but I had a laryngitis attack yesterday. So luckily, some warm water I'll need. So luckily, you can hear me and we can have a good time. Post-lunch sessions are always, they call it like, sessions where nobody is interested to listen because good food and, siesta time, particularly Kolkata where 2 to 4, everything gets closed. And it starts at 4 o'clock. So it's really tough to keep people interested. I thought, the topic is something which will be very, very interesting. So how many of you do some bit of cross-border payments transaction? Like you get money from outside or your clients get money from outside or you send money outside? Anyone, can you just raise your hand? Okay. Uh, so today what we'll discuss about cross-border transactions. So cross-border transactions are basically four types. Like, one is P2P, which is person to person. One is B2B and B2C and C2B. B2B, we all know, business to businesses. C2B is consumer, customer to business, like all of us be buying from Amazon.com, that is C2B. B2C is like, Indian businesses selling in Amazon.com abroad, like whether it's a jewelry or is a handicrafts kind of thing. So all four segments are actually growing. For discussion's sake, Brispay, we operate for the B2B, B2C and C2B. At one side, there has to be a business. We are not discussing about P2P here today. Uh, any ideas how much cross-border remittance India is getting? India is number one in the world. P2P remittance is how much India is getting? Any ideas? So India gets around $129 billion every year in P2P remittances. Just held this number. I'll tell how B2B is bigger than that. So if you look at the entire cross-border trade, is really, really booming. It is expected to be $290 trillion. And the people are making revenue in the sense fees, like banks are making almost $260 billion every year in terms of revenues. And B2B is more than 50% of the transaction. And if you look at cross-border e-commerce, that is supposed cross-border e-commerce means where you are buying through Amazon.com and all those sites like Walmart.com. So that business is going to be $4 trillion. So this is just booming, and every country is actually going after that. So India, one part of the cross-border is imports, where we actually pay money to another country, to another supplier outside to get products inside. That's around close to $900 billion, including goods and services, and MSME does around 15% of it. And this is expected to be more than $2 trillion by 2029-30. So to give you a perspective, China is currently at $2.5 trillion in terms of imports, and we are almost one-fourth of imports in terms of China. But India major problem is the export is lower than imports. So there is always a trade deficit because exports we are actually getting less, and we are actually selling dollars more. So export is around close to $800 billion. So goods is allowed 437 and services is $341 billion. So when we looked at that, around 50% of the exporters are MSME exporters. And they initially, traditionally, they always did the business through the banks. So what happened over a period of time, fintechs come in, fintechs like us, and it's expected fintechs will have almost 20% market share in that segment. So it is like $64 billion will move through fintechs by 2030. So we believe that, the segment we are in is a sizable opportunity. Just giving a China balance, China does around $3.4 trillion exports every year, which is almost 5 times than what India exports. So India has a very, very massive plan. The government wants to make it to $2 trillion by 2030, $1 trillion from goods and $1 trillion from services. And obviously MSME ratio may go up to all the way to 60-65%. So it's a very, very important segment for India. As per the government's recent announcement, government looks at $5 trillion economy by 2030, and they believe that can only happen if Indian exporter reach the $2 trillion number. So government is working in multiple ways to really increase it. Go to the next slide. Sorry. So if you look at, I was just talking, there are 5 ways people get money today. One is what we call as alternate payment method, which is PayPal or Google Pay kind of thing. There is money, like MTSS is nothing but Western Union and all. Like some of the small money you can still, because Western Union limit is like 250,000, you can get some amount of money. A2A is nothing but account to account, like our NEFT RTGS. Where you are using SWIFT to get the money. And card is, we know that, we put our credit card and, through, let's say I'm buying something from US, I put a credit card and, the charge get deducted by dollars. So that is 5 ways we actually get the money. But what is the pain point in the business? Why, people like us thought of getting into this segment? So there are 5 big problems in this thing. First of all, it is very expensive. Do you have any idea when you actually change money, what is the average you lose when you change money? Any idea? Exactly. Well, we actually lose global average is 6.5%. That means if you're doing a $600 billion exports, you're losing $6.5 billion only on charges. And that is global averages. As you rightly said, some places it might be slightly lower, some places it can be very, very high. So the people who is exporting, he has got no choice because he has to eventually convert the money from dollar to dollar or euro to or pound to rupees. So 6.5% is really, really good. Recently, I met Mr. Modi in September. So I was telling if India export becomes $1 trillion, $2 trillion, and we say 5% of it. So that means we are actually putting $100 billion back to the business, to the same guys who can actually focus and build the business on that. It's like working capital back to the exporters. The second thing is it's delayed. So anyone who has got money from abroad, you'll ask your bank doesn't know when the money is going to come. Bank will call you one day, aaj aa gaya, aap mujhe purpose code bhejo. Right? So it is delayed and you don't know when money is coming. Third is opaque, because banks operate through correspondent banks. It is not that your client has got a Citibank account, you have got an ICICI bank account. Citibank, ICICI bank, they don't talk to each other. His Citibank will talk to Barclays. His Barclays will talk to JP Morgan. JP Morgan will talk to ICICI bank, then only money will come. Because there are multiple parties involved, nobody knows when the money is going to come. You will ask your party, have you paid? He said, I have paid. He'll maximum send a photocopy of the what is the bank receipt. So it is completely opaque. Then it's very hard to reconcile because your bank account, the money has anyway come in rupees. So it has come in rupees. So if you've got hundreds of trades, it's very difficult to know which is against which trade. So you have to have an accountant full time to really sit down and do a reconciliation. As CAs, you know this thing, how difficult it is to reconcile. And it might so happen that exporter has got some money and send it because the stocks didn't reach or there are some penalties and all. So reconciliation is a big challenge. So why it was still a problem? Because global banks are not MSME focused. Global banks are focused for the big companies like RPG Group or Goenka or Ambani or Adani types. Fintechs are mostly in P2P, person to person. So there are many fintechs come in, but they all look at person to person transactions. Local banks, they don't have enough capability to really do it. So in the previous, I'm just putting a discussion, let's say there are two bank CEOs who are sitting there. One bank has got capability, one bank has got no capability because their focus is not cross-border payments, right? So there is lack of very little options. So what we did actually before we start the company, we asked 500 exporters, saying that, what you basically miss in this segment. They said we can't get paid in the local payment options. Local payment options, in the sense, basically they want to collect by local payment, means if someone is giving dollar, I should be able to collect dollars. Can't execute the order seamlessly. In the sense, if the order has come, I don't know how I will execute the order. Some of the order actually goes away. So can't pay easily. So if I want to pay someone for the imports, I can't pay it easily. So then, these are some of the data. I'll not delve deeper into that. Some interesting fact. So anyone who sends a sample, he sends free of cost. Do you know any? So I don't know, if anyone has bought anything from any VAT countries in Europe, there's a VAT refund scheme at the airport. How many have actually got the VAT refund back? But for 10 VAT refund queries, only 2 or 3 people will get back. Why? Because the charge of getting that refund is so high, it is more than the refund amount itself. So you will get refund back if you are, let's say, getting $1,000 refund. If you are getting $100 refund, the charge will take care of that $100. So most of the people who send a sample abroad, they send it free of charge. 26% of the exporters said they have to change the bank account because the bank is not capable. Let's say someone is with a Sarvodaya bank or a rural bank. He has to change, or Grameen bank, he has to change that to, let's say, ICICI bank or HDFC bank to really make that happen. So there are 44% people are setting up an e-commerce chain because they realize that e-commerce export is really going up. So we started the company in 2023. Yesterday was our anniversary day, so we completed 2 years. So around 2,000 plus exporters work with us now. And monthly we do around 10,000 transactions through our platform. With RBI, we are registered as payment aggregator cross-border. So we have applied for the license and we're RBI. So you'll find our name in the RBI site. So we have got multiple partners in a banking rails. We have partners in HDFC Bank, Yes Bank, international partners who are giving us rails, Visa, Currency Cloud, PayPal, Amazon, and our tech is on Amazon Web Service, Amazon API, and we are available in Apple and Android as an app. So when we actually launched, we did it very differently. So we said, if okay, sorry. So we said if every other thing the guy is actually looking at an app, for us, why he'll go to the website? So he should able to get the exporter should get all the information in his hand, whether the bill has been raised or not, the bill has money has come in not. So we are the first company, I think, definitely in India, but in a first company in the world to launch our product in the app ecosystem first before the web ecosystem. So we cover all four segments. Say if you are all of you are CAs, so we cover all four segment. SMB exporter, goods exporters, who's sending like a handicraft, jute exporter, tea exporter. So that's our SMB goods exporter. Then service exporters, the IT guys, who are doing, let's say, business with a US company. They're doing work for the US and other companies. Third is the contractor and freelancers, like people like you. If you've got a client in US. You are actually, that's a contractor, freelancer kind of job. A lot of freelancers now do tech development part of it. Then B2C sellers, I told you about Amazon marketplaces and all, where he's actually putting his product in Amazon, and lot of customers across the world is actually buying from Amazon, and Indian products are actually getting sold. Currently, around more than 100,000 sellers are there in Amazon global marketplaces, and they do around $3 billion business in a year. So it's a fairly big segment now, and government wants to take it to $300 billion by 2030, looking at the China numbers. Because government says that if China is at 350 today, and China will be at, let's say, 700 by 2030, we should be at 300. So it's a massive expansion is going to happen that year. So what is our value proposition? We have got basically 5 things. We allow you to collect payment like a local person. So we give you a bank account in 6 currencies now. We are adding more currencies. Whether it's a USD, GBP, Euro, Singapore dollar, Canadian dollar, or Australian dollar. When you onboard on our site, you immediately get 6 currencies account. That means you got an account in US where your US party can pay there in dollars. Local payment. So there is no SWIFT charges involved. You'll save money. Second thing is there's a multi-platform based solution. We have, as I said, we have our apps. We have also got a web-based solution. So we issue virtual account in 5 minutes. So any of you opened a business bank account, it takes at least 3 weeks to get an Indian business bank account. We give 6 international bank accounts in 5 minutes time if you complete the KYC. KYC is entirely digital. So we also can collect payment for cards through PayU link and through PayPal. So any way your customer is paying, we can collect the money. So you can onboard in 5 minutes. Everything is I do all checks backend through Aadhaar integration, GST integration. Everything is online. So you just upload the details. Everything gets checked and the flagged and obviously if you go 5 minutes, if everything goes through. If it doesn't go through, then you'll get queries, or else at 5 minutes. So that's a differentiator, because if I have to beat the bank, our goal is to become bigger than the bank. So I need to beat where the pain points are. It can't take 3 weeks to open an account in a bank, right? For what? It's my money. I'm opening an account, but he takes 3 weeks to give me a business account. Anyway, so you receive the fund in 24 to 48 hours. Because what we do, these are all collection accounts, because RBI doesn't allow most of the Indian companies to open a global account. So what we call it is a collection account. Think like a Dropbox. Your party pays it, it comes there. Evening I collect all the money and next day bring it and give it to your bank account. I don't change your bank account. If you have a HDFC bank account, the money still comes to your HDFC bank account. Only you don't give a HDFC account number in your SWIFT thing. You give a US account number or a UK account number. But money still comes to your HDFC account number. So settlement is 24 hours. We give a free e-FIRA. So e-FIRA banks charges anything between 300 to 1,000 rupees. We give it immediately. After your money comes in, within 15 minutes, you'll get a free e-FIRA. So now we have also done BRC integration, GST compliance kind of thing. So those additional services we are paying, because when we made the exporter said कि अरे वो तो business money तो आ गया, but उसका reconciliation करना बहुत tough है. Because why? All of you know, if you not reconcile the export payment in EDPMS system, it will come as a GST not paid, and you will get queries about that. Then 0 Forex and lowest charges. We don't really charge on Forex. We believe Forex, whatever we get, whatever we call it Google rate, whatever you send Google, we actually get that same rate. We charge less than 1% as a transaction fee. Giving a perspective, like PayPal, which does around $1.6 billion business from India, charges 4% on Forex and 4% on transaction fees. So in place of 8%, we charge less than 1%. Our 1% includes GST. If you've got higher volume, you'll also still get discount. So we have also launched PSCB service for the freelancers, for the marketplaces like Ninja Cart and all. So guys who are actually B2B aggregators, they are also started using our services. So this is in short our platform. I'll not go detail into it. As you said, 5-minute onboarding. So these are the 5 steps. You complete it within 5 minutes. Everything get digitally checked. You get onboarded. Instant virtual account opening, as I said, after the onboarding, immediately 6 currency account you get. You can actually request a payment and buyer information. You can just you can take a snap of your invoice and upload it. You can just there itself you can just initiate like this the party, this the number, just $5,000 you can initiate. Then accessibility and connect and service. Actually, service is a big thing. 24/7 support is available. Relationship manager is available. So these are the things we are far ahead than bank. No bank is ever reached this level. I don't think they can reach also. So all in one platform, whether you get account to account, which is like NEFT RTGS, whether it's cards payment like international cards, or it's a PayPal payment, wallet-based payment, you can get through in our platform. So all business purposes. So as I said, again, I'm reiterating that it's B2B, B2C, C2B, all business. One side has to be business. We allow those kind of payment to go through. So this is in short what we save. If you move $25,000 today through bank, you'll pay around $450 to $590. And by the way, your client will also pay $25 to $40 SWIFT charges. Because when you go to his bank, let's say Citibank, and say this money I want to send to ICICI Bank in India, their bank will charge $25 to $40 to him. So in a smaller payment, it's become a very higher fee. Then there is a receiver fee, then there's a Forex charges, then there's a FIRA charges, then there is settlement time. So a bank charges anything $500, other fintechs charge around $2,000. We charge $250 or less. What it means for the exporter? So exporter basically saves per $25,000 transaction, 12,000 to anything to 12,000 to $1,45,000 rupees through us. So if you look at a annual saving, if you do even one transaction, annual saving is a sizable, which will help you to plow back that money. So all of you are CAs, you may not be direct exporters, but let's say you have got exporters, exporters. So we have got a referral program kind of thing, so you can become partner with us. And it is not that your exporter friends can get that benefit. You can also earn money, and you can become partner to us. So this is like last September. It's a very proud moment for us. That's all. So open to questions or anything. So any other thing.
Hello. So any question on? Yeah.
Hello. So since nobody has any questions here, I would like to give an input here. I have myself been an exporter for the last 5 years. This year, the person who is importing from me, I am myself a professional. लेकिन मेरे professional में कभी guide नहीं किया कि you can use these platforms. The person who is importing from me in the US, he said, let's use this platform. So we have started using a platform. In a payment of $30,000, I saved more than $1,000 by just using the platform. So I think friends, as professionals, हम लोग आज जो भी इनपुट लिए ना हम लोग को अपने क्लाइंट्स के लिए यूज़ करना चाहिए बिकॉज क्लाइंट्स को ये एडवाइस हम लोग से जानी चाहिए एज प्रोफेशनल्स कि भाई आप एक्सपोर्टर हो तो आप लोग ये प्लेटफॉर्म यूज़ कर सकते हैं. आज द एंटायर रीज़न वाई नीरज जी हैज़ टेकन दिस एफर्ट टू कॉल हिम एंड ही हैज़ टेकन द एफर्ट टू एक्चुअली टेल अस. तो ये इट वर्क्स एंड पीपल सेव मनी इन दिस. सो लेट्स यूज़ दिस. थैंक यू.
Yeah, Mr. Sukumar. Yes, sir.
Well, comparing with the bank, see, generally for the exporter, whenever they get some export order, then the bank gives the packing credit initially to process this, and then they export. So do you have any such facility that you also give credit for the packing credit like thing?
Very good question. Actually, we started with payments. Today, we don't have a credit facility. See, look at anyone who's doing a LC payment and will not. See, if you look at, you have to target, when you launch a fintech, you have to target a specific segment. We are targeting the segment which is MSMEs, where the average transaction value is less than 25K or 50K kind of thing. And it is against invoice-based payment, not so much about a credit-based kind of payments. So yes, that's a big segment. We will definitely come one day. We'll be launching payment plus services going forward. Because so what happens, how a fintech operates is launch a basic product. Based on client feedback, keep adding products to it. So next year we are trying to launch a payment plus where the logistics needs, shipping needs, documentation needs, as you said, credit needs. Either will be taken care by us or through our partners. So again, it's like more like an aggregator platform we are going to launch in a year's time. But not today. But today we are focusing on mostly the small exporters and on the payment needs.
Oh, thank you.
Yes, sir. Mr. Mandana.
Natural query, as compared to the banks, where do you save your costs so that you are able to render your services at a cost lower than the most of the banks?
हम लोग जो कॉस्ट दे रहे हैं, मैं हिंदी में बोल रहा हूँ, हम लोग जो कॉस्ट दे रहे हैं, बैंक वो कॉस्ट देता है बड़े वाले को, छोटे वाले को नहीं देता है. That is a challenge. Bank takes more money for the smaller ones, give very good rate to the bigger ones. We have democratized the cost. What is democratizing the cost? I am an aggregator, right? Bank has to give me a lower cost. Obviously, I am still not reached that level where, let's say what rate Ambani will get or Adani will get, I'll get the same rate. But I get pretty much closer to that rate today. So what I've done, I've democratized it. I am not taking money. I'm actually passing on that rate to the smaller guys. My idea is that if the smaller guy gets a better rate, he will save more money and that money will get reinvested into economy and we'll grow organically. So I don't have to take more money and then market my services. See, bank is a big place. You, like she said, nobody knows how bank charges. If anyone can tell me when you last did a foreign trip, how much your card cut, can tell me, I'll give you 1,000 rupees on spot. Nobody can tell. Nobody knows. Because first, when you go and give the card, it will say that, Forex deduction, then month end there will be 3-4 small charges will come in your card statement. It does not come to, same thing bank also does. He'll cut on the Forex. You don't know what is the Forex rate that day. Bank will say, okay, Forex moves around 40 bips on a day.
We have to abide by what?
Yeah, you'll abide by that. You don't have that wherewithal to check. See, bigger guys get a portal, they can check, they can negotiate because they've got a Forex team in that, like treasury team in that bigger company has a treasury team. But smaller guys, they don't have a treasury team. So we say one is democratized. Second thing, like I just said, we aggregate. So once we get a local payment, we save the money there because the local payment we know, let's say you give me money in UPI, there is no money, money involvement. We save the client money. Then we aggregate and bring at one go. That is, I still use the SWIFT, but मैं 1000 लोग का पेमेंट एक साथ लेके आता हूँ. तो SWIFT का अगर मुझे $25 देना है, एक बार देना पड़ता है 1000 लोग के लिए. But when you do individually, every transaction they are putting $25 to that. And then bank can charge anything to you because you are not aware. And bank can also charge for paperwork like, EPRA, 500 rupees, EDPMS updation, 1000. Yeah, a lot of hidden cost. So we taken out the hidden cost. Our idea is that, if you think I am doing a very truthful business, no hidden cost, tomorrow you will refer 20 guys to us. And that's how the business will be built.
Sir, if we go in a very simple way, like as a CA firm, we receive around $50,000 in a year. So what you told, absolutely correct. We hardly used to see that कितना हमारा उसमें charges लग गया, कितना कम आया नहीं आया, क्योंकि अपने तो ये मान रहे हैं फीस ही आ गया बहुत है. तो वहाँ तो ज़्यादा खुशी उसका है. तो अगर एक आपको अगर मैं सिंपल अभी पूछूं कि आज इतने CAs यहाँ बैठे हुए एक रफ बात करें कि $50,000 अगर हम आपके प्लेटफॉर्म से रिसीव करते हैं तो व्हाट सेविंग एग्जैक्टली वी विल हैव.
नहीं, मैं वही दिखाया ना, डिपेंड करता है आप कितने में मूव करते हो. अगर मेरा लेस देन 1% है, अगर $50,000 आपका है, तो अगर 1% भी आप सेविंग करते हो, आप हिसाब कर लीजिए ना, $500 आप सेव किया. हाँ,
वही फायदा हो गया. चलिए, तो आप डेलीगेट फीस हम लोग इस प्रोग्राम का बढ़ा दे रहे हैं. straightforward, सबको फायदा हुआ है.
No, no, please, and that is what we also have a referral program. Please write to, like, this is a QR code, or you have my ID, just write to me. If you want, we can do a special
Onboarding session.
Yeah,
जो
we
है,
can do an
क्योंकि
onboarding
that,
session.
That in detail we need to understand कि if
Yeah.
we want to be part of, because what you are saying is that is very significant. अगर $500 हम साल भर में सेव कर रहे हैं तो मतलब एक handsome amount हो गया भाई. तो he is from Mumbai.
I'm sitting in Mumbai, but our team is here, so they can come and meet you, and they can discuss also.
नहीं तो definitely sir, under our platform we will definitely organize a detailed workshop kind of thing कि जहाँ पर हम लोग जो है इसको कैसे onboarding करना है, definitely we will look into. So any other question? Yes sir.
Yes, sir. I have a question. So, let's say the currencies that you mentioned, right? Some of these are very highly regulated geographies, right? So, as let's say a payment facilitator, right? So, obviously, I'm sure you would have some bit of due diligence and all to do, right? Because otherwise, you just want to make sure that your platform is not being misused by people and all, right? So, can you share some insights in terms of some of those things? Just financial crime, obviously, that's a big aspect of it, right? So, your learnings and experience from that.
No, very good question. I think this segment is peppered with financial crimes or the frauds. So we are a RBI regulated entity, so how it operates that I get the bank accounts through my partners. Like I partnered with Visa and Currency Cloud, so they are regulated in 4 geographies. So let's say they are regulated in USA, UK, Canada, and Eurozone. So they have got opportunity. They have got issuance, bank account issuance capability from their banks. So because we are also a regulated entity, they have done an agreement with us. So we are working with a regulated entity, they are also working with a regulated entity. Second is there are 3-level checks happens because they are regulated entity. When money comes, see, think like it's a rails or highways. Highway, like, we are actually have the bridges over the highways. So they first checks before money comes in. Then my bank, AD1 bank also checks. My AD1 bank is, let's say, HDFC Bank, because money is eventually he's receiving the money. Then our compliance team also checks. And and it's again real-time compliance. The only difference which you're bringing with the bank is a AI level and real-time compliance. That's what again I explained to Mr. Modi. He asked the same question. ये जब fintech के through में तो ज़्यादा हो सकता है fraud. I said fintech के through में कम होगा because it's not paper-based, it's machine-based. Machine looks at the volume, velocity. Let's say, for example, let's say you बोले कि last year उनका $50,000 हुआ था export. Suddenly उनका $500,000 का dollar का एक check आ गया. So it will go through compliance. ऐसा हो ही नहीं सकता है suddenly इनका business ऐसा कैसे हो गया? हो सकता है बहुत बढ़ गया. But it has to go through. So there are a lot of this trigger. You need to see triggers and patterns. That is one way of checking. Then you need to see from which geography it is coming. There are a lot of this black, whatever FATF geographies where you cannot get money. The third thing what you need to check is which kind of transaction it is coming. It is a diamond transaction, completely no. We don't touch that. It's a pharma, no. Because what we saw, like pharma, it is actually, people are sending Viagra and all these non-specified drug in some countries. They're sending through that, or maybe some other drugs, which are not actually a drug, which is like more like a, other side of the drugs. So what we need to also check is what kind of inputs you are getting. On that basis you keep blocking or keep changing. So it's a 3 or 4 level check which is happening, and all throughout it's a regulated entity. And this is a business you cannot take compliance in a very lighter mode.
So does your platform also provide the forward facility?
To outward?
The forward. Suppose if I have to receive $10,000 in next 3 months, can I take a forward cover through your?
No forward cover, because see, hedging nahi.
No hedging platform.
Because see, look, what is RBI wants to do? RBI wants to, why fintechs exist? Fintech exists to support the need of a particular segment in a much better way than the bank. If I say, no, I want to also give it to Adani and Ambani and all this thing, I want all these other things, then I'll have to be a bank, right? I can't operate as a fintech because then I have to add all possible ways what bank is doing. Then my cost will also equally go up.
Can you have an EFC account?
Yeah, today, yes. So in the sense, like, with HDFC, we are ready to provide a EFC account.
Okay, so if we don't have any other question, then we can conclude this session. So Mr. Tripathi, thank you very much for your time and effort which you have given me, and in fact, This is, although I'll not use term new concept, but although we have heard many times, but never we trying to deep dive. And today, because you are here and the presentation which you have given, so we have taken the effort to deep dive. And what I have told you, this example, that every entities like us are getting some dollars and everything. So, but we hardly see that if this kind of mechanism can be used in our ecosystem, then definitely we all can be get benefited out of this. So a big round of applause for Mr. Sanjay Tripathi. And now we will.
Please, your website, can you spell out once?
कार्ड दे देंगे ना सर, कार्ड दे देते हैं आपको, कार्ड
briskpay.com, BRISK, brisk, PE, like a phone pay, PE, briskpay.com. I'll give you my card.
Okay, thank you.
So thank you very much. Now we will move for our next session, and I'll have one request with all of you. Many of faces I am seeing first time in this conference. So ACA is a very big organization, a 65-year-old organization. Please come to our desk, our registration desk, take our membership form, and once you become member, you will be able to get many benefits out of this association. So thank you very much. Thanks you.